Hey everyone, Ryan here with Black Rain Ordnance and the Shooter Development Institute. And I'm very excited to have you guys with us here today. We are going to be working on the Glock 19 specifically, and we will be going over the disassembly and then the reassembly. And we're going to do it in two stages. So we're going to do just the field strip and just with a basic disassembly of the Glock so that you can know what parts and pieces you need to clean and things like that, and then how they work together and stuff. And then we'll break it down a little bit further just in case, if you want to change out your sights, or, you need to change out your trigger assembly or the spring or something like that, then we're going to be able to do that with you as well today. So that's what we're going to accomplish today, and I thank you guys for being here. All right, so the first thing that we always want to consider is safety. And I have left the magazine in here on purpose just to show you guys and highlight where you can take that magazine out. And so on the Glock, you have a magazine catch and magazine release right here. And so you're simply going to depress that and you can release the mag. You see where it's cut in right here? That's where the magazine catches, right? And then that's whenever you push this, that's where it also releases, okay? So that's your magazine catch, magazine release. And then the next thing that we need to do is we're going to have to clear the chamber, obviously, because we need to ensure that it is cleared. And this is your slide catch, slide release, right? Your slide catch. And so we need to bring this back, and you can see where there's a recess right up here on the slide, and it's going to be pushed up and it'll lock into there. So it's a little difficult to manipulate it with it up here. And so I like to always work in my be in my workspace. And so real quick, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to attempt to highlight it to show you. So first thing that you have to do is grab this, bring it to the rear, okay, like so. Bring it to the rear, and then right there, right here, is where I push that latch up and it locks the slide to the rear. Right? Then I'm going to visually and physically inspect the chamber to ensure that there's not a projectile in there. And once that's done, I can go ahead and release the slide by depressing this, or I can bring this back and then release it and it'll fall, right? Easiest way for me to do it is to just release it right there like that on the slide release, okay? Now we can go ahead and disassemble. So on a Glock, one of the things that we'll have to do, now we've already ensured that we cleared the chamber, magazine is empty, everything like that. And what we're gonna have to do is right up here on the tang, this is just the way that I do it, it's not the only way, but this is the way I do it. So I'll take right here on the tang on the back strap, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to grip it just on the by the rear sights. I'm going to bring it back, and you can kind of hear where it clicks right there. That's really all you need to go back for. And then you have your takedown gate right here, your takedown pin. You have it on this side and you have it on this side, right? So you just take this, bring them both down, release that slide, press the trigger, slide comes right out, okay? So separated your receiver from your slide. Now we have our spring and we have our barrel that will be taken out. So I always like to roll this one out just because I've had it in the past where, not necessarily Glock, but other firearms where, you just pop them out and then they go flying across the floor. So I've always been considerate of that. So I'll just take this and roll it, either side, doesn't matter, roll it up and out. Finally, I have the barrel that I'll be taking out. And all I do is I just pop it up right here and then take it out like so. And that is what is considered a field strip for your Glock. And I can service this, I can maintenance this, I can clean this, or anything else that I want. So the next part that we're going to talk about is a further disassembly of the Glock in case you're wanting to change out parts or anything like that. All right, everyone. Now that we have field stripped our Glock 19, we are going to reassemble it. And so we're assuming that we've gone ahead and cleaned what we've needed to clean. And what we are going to do after the reassembly is we are going to do a very important part, which is to do the functions check. Because whenever you take anything apart and you put it back together, you want to make sure that that is serviceable and that it is operable. And so that's what the functions check entails. So the first thing you're going to do, I always like to have it flat like this anyways. And so I'm just going to turn this up. And where this little hook is, I'm going to grab it and insert it into the barrel and let it sit, okay? Next thing is I'm going to take my spring, and you can see right here the beveled end versus the flat end. The beveled end goes into the end of the barrel in the direction of the bullet travel. And you're going to press that down like so and make sure it's centered. So right here is where this spring is retained. Okay. Finally, you're going to need to line up your rails appropriately. And I've actually done it before once where I wasn't paying attention and I got over the rails on this side and locked it up, and it just causes a big mess. So really make sure that you take care to line it up appropriately, like so. And then just nice and gently bring it all back. Now what we have to do is we're going to have to bring this all the way back, okay? And then we're going to perform the functions check. So we'll bring it all the way back. Right? Now we're going to perform the functions check. And the way that you perform the functions check is you press the trigger, hold the trigger to the rear, and then we will charge the slide, resetting everything. And then we will slowly release the trigger, listening for the reset. Once we hear the reset, we know that we've put everything back together and that this firearm is operable. All right, so I'll go ahead and press the trigger like so, grab this, and I don't have to hold it, I don't have to ride it forward, just like that. And then I'm gonna slowly listen for the reset, just like so. And now I know that this is operable. And that is the reassembly of the Glock pistol.